So yesterday's Bitcoin price action has been absolutely crazy. We have been breaking out towards the upside of this symmetrical triangle, but we got a very strong rejection yesterday from this resistance level after we got this news in that the SEC says that the spot Bitcoin ETF filings are inadequate. So of course, at the first glance, this is looking absolutely ridiculous and very bearish for the Bitcoin market, but in my opinion, this is actually a very good thing that could happen with the Bitcoin market, and this is actually a very bullish thing because in my view, the SEC is right now just saying, all right, just change these few things in your Bitcoin ETF filings and then we will be accepting your Bitcoin ETF. And right now already we are seeing Fidelity officially refiling its Bitcoin spot ETF, and we're also seeing all of these other asset managers right now also refiling their Bitcoin spot ETF. So right now it will just be a matter of time before BlackRock will also be refiling their Bitcoin spot ETF. And in my opinion, this whole event that just happened yesterday will only just increase the chances of the Bitcoin spot ETF actually being accepted. Okay, so keep that in mind because this will be very important to keep in mind. Yesterday, approximately 80 million in Bitcoin longs just got liquidated because of basically a clickbait news title. Because everyone was fearing, alright, the SEC was saying that the ETF filings are inadequate. But after doing some more research, well, you could easily find that this is actually a very good thing for the Bitcoin market. Because the SEC is literally trying to work with all of these asset managers in order to get a spot Bitcoin ETF approved. So it was a huge overreaction in the market that led to this huge rejection that we got yesterday. So I still have my long position on Bitget open with about 4.6k in profits. And I also shared on my Twitter that during this dip, I was buying more Bitcoin. And of course, yesterday we were saying, all right, I do not like this price action we were creating right here because we were creating some very choppy price action. And in the end of the day, yes, indeed, we did get our breakout towards the upside. But right after that, of course, we got a rejection right here from of this resistance level. And we got this news coming out where the market kind of overreacted from all. And of course, no one could have predicted this Bitcoin SEC news. But in the end of the day, we did already see that markets were actually choppy. Very choppy actually, and we were previously around faking out with some other patterns we were creating. For example, over here we already saw a fake out happening previously around, so I was already saying, all right, I do not like this price action in the short term being created. So what happens in the short term I just view as noise, and I'm still going to be having a look in towards the longer term charts because the longer term charts are still telling us that more upside is imminent. So in my opinion right now, because of this previous rejection and this support right here, we have a very clear indication and some very clear price action going on right now for Bitcoin. Because we can very clearly see a range right now happening for Bitcoin. We can see the upside resistance and we can see the downside support right here acting as support. Now in my opinion, whenever we will be breaking towards the upside of this range, well then we are going to be seeing much higher prices being reached next off, because at that moment, well, we will very likely be breaking above our weekly resistance, we will be breaking above this resistance right here, and we will also be breaking above our previous high. And as you can be seeing, all of the previous times, whenever breaking above the previous high, well, this has led in towards further pumps in the Bitcoin price happening. And whenever we will be breaking towards the downside of this range, well, that is going to be meaning, in my opinion, we will be getting support by these support levels right here. So these will be my support levels where I will be keeping an eye on whenever we will be breaking down. And from of this level, I will be interested to be buying more Bitcoin or maybe even adding towards my long position on Bitget. Now in the weekend, because of course we are currently trading at a Saturday, I do not expect we are going to be creating any kind of a massive move. In this case, we have closed our CME futures chart at about the 30.6k level, so I expect we are going to be trading at about that level and kind of do some consolidation in between these ranges. So some choppy price action during this weekend that I will not be trading, but in the beginning of next week, I do expect we are going to be retracing back towards this 30.6k level, which is also going to be our magnet. So for the longer term charts, nothing much has really changed. Just like I talked about earlier and also yesterday, what happens in the short term right here is just some noise. I think in the end of the day, we will be breaking back above our weekly resistance. And whenever we will be breaking above our weekly resistance and this 32k level, well, then I still do think that the 36k is next, because of course, having a look in towards our weekly time frame, this is going to be our first level of resistance. So that is still what I'm thinking. Whenever we will be breaking this 32k level, well, then I think the 36k is next. Other than that, we have just entered a new month, July currently, and in my opinion, surprisingly enough, well, the June monthly candle has been closing very bullish in my opinion. But if we have a look into our historic data, we can actually be seeing that July has historically speaking been a very bullish month for Bitcoin. We have seen 7 green months for the month of July, and we have only seen 3 bearish months for the month of July. So will July once again be a bullish month for Bitcoin? I do think there is a pretty big chance, but we will have to wait and see whatever we will be doing right here in the short term. So make sure to stay up to date about every single market development on my Twitter page, and I'll see you in another update video tomorrow morning.